I really can't decide whether or not I would prefer a sharp mind or a sharp body. My mind keeps telling me if I can't have both, then why would I want either? It feels like one without the other is redundant. And that could just be my perception. I know from like a really young age, just like my upbringing, I never really thought or expected that I would make it to old age. And I don't know if this is a rationalization or if this is like a genuine, authentic expression or an idea, but it feels like I would always tell myself, well, once shit starts breaking down, once like, physically or mentally, I can't keep up or I can't really do what I want to do, you might as well just put me down. You might as well just like take me out back and put one between the eyes. And part of that, even just saying it out loud now, was probably coming from a place of I lacked a lot of self-compassion and I lacked a lot of perspective that I have now. I know now that you're going to have to take me down kicking and screaming. I think about leaving behind my wife. I think about leaving behind my brothers and my loved ones. And even if it's my own body falling apart, even if it's my own mind falling apart, I'm fighting it. Whatever it is trying to take me out, I'm going to resist and I'm going to be here for the people that I care about and the things that I care about. My values are more important than even my own quality of life and my survival. I don't know exactly when that changed. And maybe this isn't even going to be an issue. Maybe in a few years with like how technology is changing with AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, maybe we won't have to maybe our minds, our consciousnesses, or whatever that means, will be able to leave behind our bodies and we'll be able to sort of like transcend our biology and reach this new state. But even saying that, I feel like so much of life, when you pay attention, this was introduced to me through like, meditation practices. So much of the good of life is in our bodies and feeling sensations. I think, especially looking at my life, I had a kind of a chaotic upbringing and my body didn't always feel great. There was a lot of tension, there was a lot of anxiety that I would just sort of hold in my body, and I would hide from the feelings in my body and my mind. I would either use like distractions, I would like, spend hours and hours like reading books or watching movies or playing video games, just trying to keep my mind out of my body. And then, eventually I got older and I started turning to drugs to be able to do that. Always essentially reaching to something external to be able to not necessarily relieve the pain or the tension or the suffering going on in my body, but at the very least distract myself from it. Being able to sort of like cope in a way that I could still sort of like, I didn't have the tools that I needed to release the pain, but I still wanted to get what I wanted out of life. And so I would just rely on external things to sort of like keep moving forward. Now, I wouldn't want to trade my body for the world, and in a lot of ways, I think my mind is overrated. I think there's a saying of like the brain decided that the brain is the most important organ. And that is a little bit how I feel. I think the mind can be sort of overrated because the mind is the thing that rates. The mind is the thing that judges and compares. But the more you kind of like almost like ignore the mind, or not ignore it, but just sort of like not take it so seriously, the more you see that the body is doing so much for you all the time at any given moment, and so much of that is good. I could feel the air over my skin. I'm pretty bundled up right now, but I can feel it on my hands, I can feel it on my face. I could feel the air coming in and out of my lungs. I could feel the security of the earth as I'm sitting on this stool and my feet are planted on the ground. I can take deep breaths and I can feel my heart softening and expanding. I can hear the sounds of traffic on my eardrums. I can feel the light on my eyeballs, the warm, bright light, the different colors and the shadows. So much data is coming in right now that my mind, if I were to even try to list every little detail that my body is expertly handling for me, I would need a library just to describe any given moment. Any single moment is full of so much detail. the mind can't even keep up. So I really couldn't decide. I can't decide whether in my old age is a helicopter flying overhead. Sorry about that. I really couldn't decide whether I would prefer a sharp mind or a fit body. They need each other. They benefit each other. If I had to make a gut call, I'd probably pick the fit body though. I feel like even without a mind, or maybe not without a mind, the prompt is that it's an old mind and an old mind and a fit body versus a sharp mind and an old body. Yeah, that's so hard to tell, man. That I really can't decide. I was gonna say maybe I would prefer the fit body, but then what good? The mind is the thing that determines what is or isn't good. From the body's perspective, everything just is what it is. It's almost just like, from I guess how I see it is the body is really only reacting to the moment at any given time. And the mind is the thing that can hold these ideas of the past, this is what happened to me, and the future, this is what could happen to me, and it evaluates different options and it evaluates potential decisions that we can make, and the body is just sort of along for the ride. So even if I could have the fit body and the old mind, if the mind is unable to evaluate good or bad, then what's the difference? It's all just it is what it is. And it being what it is isn't necessarily bad or good. You can't determine whether it's bad or good. And then, the opposite is if you could only rely on the mind but you couldn't rely on the body. What the? Great. I can't even hear myself speak. So I guess that's that. Maybe this isn't a video that I upload. I'm gonna hope that I can still hear myself. But